Newcastle Fans TV.
Newcastle United have just beaten Leicester City 2-1 in the dying moments thanks to a Bruno Guimaraes brace. Lee and I are about to score some players. a bit hoarse. 10 pints of Guinness yesterday, and that atmosphere today has certainly left my voice feeling a little worse for wear. But let's crack on in scoring. Martin Dubravka.
Was he tested? You take the goal, obviously that was a well-worked goal. Maybe he should have done a little bit better because it goes under his body, but apart from that, I can't remember him pulling out too many saves. Distribution was alright. 7 out of 10. I don't think many, even if we got a point today, I don't think many people would say that Dubravka had much to do. The Leicester had a lot of the ball, but yeah, steady.
They didn't really test him, did they?
No, they were pretty on the ball, but apart from that, didn't test him. 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Emil Kraft just keeps improving and improving, and it's great to see. We all know Trippier is going to be back in the team when he's fit, but I thought he was absolutely outstanding today.
Best game in a Newcastle shirt defensively by a mile today.
And I thought
I think he's a contender. I don't think he will win.
I was just about to say.
I don't think he will win it because there's a midfielder, but he's a contender because he's right up there.
I was about to say that. I'm going to give him an 8.5 because I'm not.
Go higher. Go
okay,
higher.
We'll go 9 then.
I thought defensively that is his best performance. Lookman, he looked after him really well, and now Lookman scored from that set piece.
But it was from a set piece, from open play. Lookman and Ashley Barnes when he came on.
Well, when Barnes came on, I thought, yeah, we'll go, because I said in the preview, I think Barnes will rip him. But Barnes come on 20 minutes ago, handled him really well, handled both wingers, and I thought he was absolutely. That for me is his best defensive display in a black and white shirt. Period.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. He was super. I thought the wing backs in general today.
Persuaded, wasn't he?
Well, no, it was 8.5, so I was going to round it up anyway. Just saves you editing in the 0.5, which I know you adore. Carrying on the right hand side, Fabian Schär, your fancy man.
Yeah, really good. Looked after Daka really well. So did Dan Burn. Couple of nice through balls as well in the first half in particular. Again, I don't think Leicester's front line tested were. Obviously, the missed Vardy I felt today. Stretching it, I think Daka is him and Iheanacho play second fiddle to Vardy, and obviously they're the future for the club. But Fabian Schär, absolutely brilliant, 8 out of 10.
I'm going to match you with an 8 for Dan Burn, I think.
Our friend
Dan Burn, the Blythe man. Couple of great last-ditch efforts in there. He should have done better with the header in the second half. He just kind of. He got underneath it instead of getting over it, didn't he? But
maybe that was his clattering, because he took a clattering as well, didn't he?
Didn't he just? That was
wiped him out.
Yeah, well, we thought he was out cold. It was more or less right in front of where I was, as was the winning goal. More of that to come. Yeah, it was a bit of early concern, but you know yourself that folk up here are made of sterner stuff than that. So he carried on and played very, very well. It's a great little partnership Schär and Burn have got going on at the moment.
I think he'll sign his contract, Fabian Schär. I think that looks like it's going to be done. Other first choice for next season? I don't think so. But those two have done a great partnership since we signed Dan Burn. And there's doubts about Fabian Schär. Can he play in it too? See, Bruce didn't really fancy him, let's be honest.
Neither did Rafa.
Well, first season he did. But Fabian Schär, again, defensively.
No, he didn't.
Well, he did, because he scored a couple of worldies in the second half.
That was in a back three.
Oh, I thought you meant in general.
No. Just in a flat back four. Schär was played under Rafa.
No, it was always in a
Bruce,
three, because he would be the one that would come out.
Yeah.
But defensively, again, he's playing his best football defensively, even better than Rafa. But at the moment, the form that he's in is brilliant.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Matty Targett. I thought the wing backs, as we said with Kraft, I thought they were superb, and Targett, Mr. Consistent. He was superb today.
Again, do you want me to score him? Oh yeah, because it's my man. Again, I'm gonna not quite the same as Kraft, but not far off it. I'll go the 0.5. I will. I'll do an 8.5. I think defensively he was fantastic. A couple of headers that could have gone through. Again, Leicester very strong on the side, left or right. The switch to the play, the great midfield. But Matty Targett, there's questions: should he be made that deal permanent? Will Villa allow it? Because he's playing absolutely fantastic. And Villa fans, if he's watching, would you take Matty Targett back or look at Dean? Because I know who I would want, and that'd be Matty Targett. If you're going to spend 15 million, I think when he first come in, I was like, I don't know. So we'll make it permanent. But now he's played over 10 games. yeah, I'll sign him. 15 million, get it done.
Would you keep Jamal Lewis?
Yes.
Interesting. I'll kick off.
Matt Ritchie to go.
Yeah. Paul Dummett to go?
I think you will.
That's for the end of the season videos. Anyway, midfield. Interesting battle, as always, the midfield is with the way we play. I'm going to start with Joe Linton. A couple of things didn't quite come off for him today, slowed the play down a little bit. I'm starting off on a negative and I don't know why, I apologise. On the whole, very solid performance. There was frustration at the start of both halves, I think, that we weren't moving the ball quick enough. Leicester were getting in between our lines and we were being dominated in the midfield. I'm nitpicking because at the end of the day...
I thought he did nothing on the left side.
No, he didn't.
So when he got moved to the left, I thought, he's played there before with Bruce, but I didn't think he offered anything on that side.
No, it just seems centre midfield is his home, and he's still got a lot to learn there because he's only been playing there for, 3 months? So I'm scoring him a 7. He was obviously, I think he was the weakest out of the 3, but 1 was obviously very exceptional, which I'm not going to let you have. Because you're going to have John Joe. We're going to agree with the latter, aren't we? Yeah. So you can have John Joe.
Yeah, plays the deepest. It's strange because we've always...
He was leading the charge, the press.
But normally, he plays the deepest, and you always worry that Newcastle need a defence midfielder because our defence has always been weak. And we're thinking, Isaac Hayden's injury, we've got to miss him. We're not missing Isaac Hayden whatsoever. So it goes to show you that you don't necessarily have to play with a sitting midfielder when one of the other 3 can do the job of alternated. A couple of nice through balls. Yeah, as I say, the press, I don't think we were high pressing as much as in other games because, as I say, we're playing against better opposition, I feel, in terms of quality. But yeah, I'll go 7. I don't think it's his best game, but that I think he's his win percentage with Shelvey in there is much better, and I think he's performing. Again, he's similar to Fabian Schär. John Joe Shelvey is probably playing some of his better football at Newcastle because he's never had a long, consistent run, except from the Championship.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. There was times, obviously the game's ended on a ridiculous high, but there was times, as we said earlier, that Leicester were really dominating, and you know, when we come on to the last word, was a draw a fair result today? It doesn't matter. Unlucky. Bruno Guimaraes, has he even played 10 games for us yet?
I think he has, I don't think he started.
Well, I'm running out of superlatives. I'm not sure I possess the vocabulary to assess his and score his performances. He's getting a 10. The guy's on another level. Credit to Murdad, who I think was leading the negotiations in January for all of our buys. Oh, my word. And if Steve Nixon... was the man who scouted him, signed him, pushed forward to get this deal done or attempt to make the signing. Credit to him. He's unreal. He's absolutely unreal. Everything he does is so calculated and measured and intelligent. He's just on another planet. I
saw something different from him today. Getting in the box.
The guy says when he came, I don't score goals, I start attacks. Could have fooled me.
Well, because we've seen him give me the ball, I'll do something. We've seen that, but today was the first time I've seen him, both goals, fighting for it, getting on the end of it. I know there's a VAR and everything with the first goal, and thankfully we got the run of the look. I haven't seen it back. But the second goal, there's a determination because, and credit Willock for that goal.
Yeah. Because
he does that, he jumps up, doesn't he, like that, and lets the ball go through, then runs through. And then he's bursting that guts to get in. And it's in the dying minutes as well. We haven't had that for years. Probably never since like the likes of, I don't know, Kevin Nolan, if you want to go that far back. We haven't really.
Cabaye maybe, but then you think...
Cabaye wouldn't break. Cabaye wouldn't. Not in there, but that's... Yeah.
Sissoko? So actually, no, 94th minute Sissoko would be like on the halfway line.
Most midfielders would, but that's the determination, the fight. And that's why, he plays for Brazil, because he's got other qualities and just showing, give me the ball, which we've seen a different side to him today.
Guy was born with the football in his feet.
Most Brazilians are, to be fair.
It's just absolutely incredible. He's out of this world. I don't want to get carried away too much because, like we did with... Well, we didn't get carried away with Willock because on that scoring run at the end of last season. But the thing is with Bruno, he's not just showing us the goals that Willock did. It's his general play, it's his intelligence. Even minute little things like towards the end of the game after we got the winner,
you
he didn't just hoof it clear. He won the throw-in.
You see it differently when you watch it live, don't you, in person now? Now you see what fans say, because I know you've missed a few, living down south, but this is the first time.
I don't live down south.
Well, it's south from here.
Most places are.
True. But you see, when you see him in person, you see different things. So I seen it today. Like you're picking up like the calmness where you just hoof it. You're talking about where you just calm and thought, no, I'm going to try and win a throw-in, or I'm going to like clip it over the top. There's intelligence of the brain, but I saw something totally different again for those 2 goals. I haven't seen that yet from him.
No, he's a beast.
And it's like we're already picking up different things, the two of us.
Is he the finished article yet? Because like you try and think like not to label him and put too much pressure on him or get carried away. But if he carries on his current trajectory, he might be the best player we'll ever see in black and white. And in terms of a midfielder.
You would think you would have a better calibre of players in the next couple of years or so.
Yeah. Just imagine him with a better team around him.
Exactly.
Which the likes of Cabaye and Rob Lee did have.
But then again, he probably doesn't stand out as much for Brazil because he's got other players who will probably be the glamour names like your Neymars and what have you for Brazil. But for us at the moment, he is because he's levels above. But in a couple of years' time, you might not be because the calibre around him's better.
That's a good point as well. And I think at the moment as well, other teams that we're facing, I don't think they know how good he is. Yet.
Soon find it out.
Aren't they just? Bruno gets a 10, of course he does. Wingers. Do you want Maxi?
Yeah, go on then. Frustrating more in the first half. This is similar to last week. Lost the ball, not as much, but he did for a couple of Leicester counter-attacks. Second half, the crowd were cheering for him. You appreciate that a couple of times. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
And then he was... And let's be honest, you take away the last-gasp winner, it was a one-man attack for a lot of the second half. It was just him versus the Leicester defence, which was kind of like back in the dark ages of Bruce. But because Leicester were having a lot of the ball in the outlet, and obviously he moved to a striking role as well, so he got moved out of position. And it was all through him. He was trying. And yes, the shots didn't come off, but I'm going to score him a 7. There's a lot more to come from ESM, and I think his form has dipped. But you've got to have him in your side rather than not at the minute. We talked about better calibre players. Ask me that question in 2 years. The ESM might be a bench warmer. If he doesn't... No, but it is because if you haven't better calibre players around you, managers won't stand for that. If you've got someone who's a consistent 8 out of 10, for example.
Again, he's still got stuff to learn. He's
still
finished.
Young.
Exactly. He's not the finished article. There's still work to be done with Maxi, but I'm glad you've given him a 7 because I was preparing to have an argument. Because I'm not having any sort.
Kelly when he got home.
No, not at all. In fact, hopefully it'll be the opposite. But
why?
the matter of fact is, the guy's kept us in the Premier League for 2 years. He's not. It was just. He was the difference between us and going down and winning games and whatever for the past 2 seasons. He's a bit out of form. Players go in and out of form all the time. It's you've got to stick with him. And Maxi, for me, I will always support him because of what he's done for us in the past and what he has the potential to do. He can win a game on his own like that.
Yeah, that's why I have him in the side.
Yeah. On the other flank was Miguel Almiron, who I think played quite well.
I love that skill he did on Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas got done twice by 2 different players. Bruno did him as well.
Yeah.
And I thought the Miggy one was better though, because Miggy just goes around with it.
That's what my biggest frustration with him is. It's like he's never ever looked comfortable on the right hand side, has he? Because he's always got to stop the attack and then come right back round, and then it's slowed down.
He still did that a day, but I like the fact he grafted, come back and won a couple of challenges, 50-50s as well, because he's been criticised he's too soft in that, so he won that, and he's got to fight for his position. I thought it was a It's not a wasp, it's a fly.
It's just a fly. You okay? Do you need a hug? Or are you ready to carry on?
Tell you if that's a wasp, I'm off. You filmed on your own. I'm pleased that wasn't, because that would have been clipped up. What was that? Miggy, yeah, 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. But as soon as Ryan Fraser is fit, I think he comes out the side.
Yeah. End product at the end of the day. Does Miggy go in the summer?
Yes, he does.
I agree. Up top was Chris Wood. I have to be honest, I really thought we missed Callum Wilson today. Soyuncu and Amati would just ate them long balls up for dinner every time.
It's strange because Soyuncu's got a mistake in him.
He has, but
I don't think that's Leicester's best pairing either.
No, Johnny Evans on the bench. Obviously, they've got a squad to manage with their European exploits,
which is a bigger thing for them.
Of course it is, but Wood was very ineffective today. They played into them back two's hands.
Talk about ESM. Wood was substituted on the 70th minute, which I've never seen so far, and that tells you how poor of a game he had.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 5 because it wasn't for one of trying. The effort and determination and grit. He never stopped. It was just that it didn't. You got a pair of centre halves that we played to their strengths in pretty much all parts of the game.
And it's strange because when you look at it and think Amati and Suchi, Chris will be fine today.
But you'd be thinking with Soyuncu and Amati, they'd be thinking Chris Wood would be fine today.
Do you know how I mentioned every time we film that someone goes past?
Yeah.
So that's Ben Dawson going past. That's how it happens.
I know.
Every time we film.
Yeah, give him a thumbs up. But yeah, I thought we missed Callum Wilson today because Wilson has that extra bit of pace and a bit of know-how. He can mix it up a bit. Wilson's obviously still good in the air, but he's obviously a lot more mobile than Chris Wood. I'm giving him a 5. First substitution, well, there was a double change, wasn't there? We'll start with Willock.
Do you know what? I would have scored really low until that goal because I didn't think he offered anything.
No.
At that stage, Leicester had all the ball, and we were just one-man outlets ESM. However, the cleverness, because if that's Miggy stops that ball dead, turns and runs. Joe Willock lets the ball, he jumps and lets it go through his legs. Because in his mind, he knows he's quick. So he's running through. And for me, Joe Willock makes that goal because of that. So because of that alone, and he gets us the winner, I'm going to score my 7.5. Just for that small piece. Yeah. The rest of the game, shocking. Wasn't in the game. For that moment, he makes that goal. Yes, Bruno runs, but if Willock doesn't, that cleverness, when the ball comes to him, if he doesn't do that, we don't score. So a great impact. And because he's made an impact, he has to be possibly knocking on the door for a start next week. No, Wednesday.
Wednesday. I was saying to Chris, Carl's brother for NFTV fans out there, I would start Willock ahead of Joe Linton on Wednesday.
I think there will be some changes. I mean, that's for the last word. But yeah, I think there will be some changes on Wednesday because it's a game. And then you've got another game after on the weekend, haven't you? Which is a lovely trip to Norwich. Yeah,
we don't have a great record there, despite them being bottom of the league. The other change that happened was Jacob Murphy.
Good luck. This wasn't in the game. This wasn't.
No, couldn't get into the game. Couldn't beat his man. I think with Jacob Murphy, he's just not up to this level, is he?
He has flashes.
You'll get flashes of brilliance and moments of sheer excellence, like the cross for the winner against West Brom last season.
Our backup wingers, both of them, are not good enough.
No.
Fraser can do a job, even if we get better players around him, and he might be a bench player in the next 12 months. But Miggy and Murphy are championship players.
What to score him? He was on for 25 minutes. I'll give him a 4.
Yeah, so he's worse than Wood.
Yeah. It's not for. It is what it is. I just don't see him consistently up to this level. But don't get me wrong, I have tremendous respect for him because of his journey from where he's come from, gone out on loan, got his head down, flashes of brilliance last season. But it's just not going to work for him. Dwight Gale got 5 minutes.
Tell all the boys you know Dwight Gale got 5 minutes on the game. Yeah.
Flashes.
I said in a WhatsApp group, I don't know if you've checked it, I said, what's Dwight Gale got to do when ESM moved to 70th minute up front? What's Dwight Gale got to do? We got a game in this football club. Yes, you might not be the standard what he was when he played for Palace or Newcastle when he first joined, but you've got a striker sitting there on the bench, and then what's the point in having him there to make up the numbers? But
he's not applicable for the scoring.
He is not applicable, but it's a broken record. We're going to say it every time Dwight Gale gets 2 minutes.
Yeah, but he's going at the end of the season. Well, will he though? Because obviously there's a lot of dead wood to be cut out of the squad.
We can't get rid of everybody, so a lot of dead.
It's going to be difficult.
I say a lot of dead wood. There'll be a couple that are still at the club. Can't check them out.
No. Again, one fair end of season, but we're getting towards the end of the season. When you come into a game in just your shirt, your t-shirt, whatever, you know it's getting towards the end of the season. of course, we are NFTV's Ryan Fraser and Dan Byrne. But
can I just point out, I'm not 5'4", I'm 5'9". That's just.
And I'm not 6'7". I'm 6'4". But Eddie Howe is our manager, so let's score him. Go on, I'll start with you.
Performance, not great, but I'm thinking it's Leicester. I predicted a 1-1 draw, and I was nearly close to that.
Was the performance...
It wasn't poor, but I think just Leicester had a lot of the ball. And I would have liked to seen a lot more high pressing, but we didn't have that. I don't think it's great, but then again, you've got Leicester, and I know there's going to be people saying, Lee, we've just won, which I get. But the performance, if you take away the goal at the end, I would have bit your hand off if it was a draw, to be honest with you.
A draw may have been a fair result, but in fairness to Howe, looking at that bench, there's not a lot of options to work with.
Leicester's bench was great.
Oh, wasn't it just?
I mean, they brought on Madison, they brought on Barnes and Iheanacho. I mean, I'd love to have that luxury in the future. But the thing is, Newcastle United should be looking at Leicester and aspire to, because they're winning. I know they won the league 7 years ago. They won an FA Cup recently. They're playing in Europe regularly. That club should be doing it. They should be doing it very, very soon in the next few years with the money that they've got. So Leicester are a club that I want to see Newcastle try to be in the short to medium term.
So what are you scoring, Eddie Howe?
Because we've won the game, I'll score them. Look, we're safe. I think overall today in the win, that's almost mathematically, almost now that we're safe. But I think we would have been with a point. But I'm going to score them because we won today. An 8. Go on.
Yeah, no, I was going to say 8. Not a lot really he had to work with in terms of a starting 11. His only choice was, is Ryan Fraser fit? No. Well, there you go. And the way he operates, Miggy was always going to keep his place.
I'm scoring him an 8 because of the calibre of the opposition as well.
Yeah.
It's a top 10 side, which Newcastle can't beat. 2 top 10 sides. We've just done it in a week.
Aren't they 12?
Well, there will be a top 10.
Yeah, I mean, a lot is made of, they're in Europe, they've got to play 3 days later, but they were in Europe and played 3 days later when we were down to King Power, so, and we all know how that went.
Yeah, and you got COVID.
I got COVID the day after.
I think I did, but I just didn't want to tell anyone.
Well,
stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Eddie Howe gets an 8. Let us know your ratings in the comments. A few things to look forward to this week. If you like Bruno chat and Paqueta chat, we sat down with Olivier Bernard yesterday and we speak all about that Brazilian duo. Can we see Paqueta in a black and white shirt next season? Hear what Olivier Bernard has to say. When's that going out?
Possibly Tuesday. We've got the last word later on tonight.
I know that.
And of course on Extra, I'm going to put the clips of from the last word as one on Extra. So it's kind of like a different style vlog.
And I'm down Molineux tomorrow for the under-23 games against Wolves. So it's all happening. You can tell I got a week off work. But the last word's coming up. Stay tuned to Newcastle Fans TV.